This SEC East Win Totals edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBET. Bet $10 to WynnBET and get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBET. Download the WynnBET app now or visit wynnbet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Coors Light. Get mountain cold refreshment delivered straight to your door via Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/SGP. That's CoorsLight.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by Stable Duel. Stable Duel is a horse racing DFS app where you can play free and paid games for real cash prizes. You can win as much as $40,000 with one entry. Head over to StableDuel.com to get started today. We're also brought to you by PropSwap, America's marketplace to buy and sell sports bets. Use promo code SGP on your first deposits. Receive up to $500 in bonus cash. Head over to PropSwap.com or download the PropSwap app today. And of course, make sure to download the SGPN app, your home for all of our free picks and podcasts.
This is Mike Leach, head football coach at Mississippi State, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Yo, college football, baby. Let's do it. Colby looking studious over here. Bring him on.
Joining us to talk college football, Colby Dant, aka the Dant of Ace. What's happening, Colby?
First down.
He could fumble.
Okay.
Hey, we got football. I just talked football for 30 hours yesterday, guys.
Yes.
We got,
What do you mean?
Colby trying to break our servers with a 2-hour and 43-minute podcast about college football week 0 on the college football experience. What can people expect to hear besides your brother's mic cutting out 2 hours in?
Oh, we fixed that.
Okay.
Fix that one. You're good now.
What can people expect from that show?
Well, we went through every single. There was 30 coaching hires over the offseason. We went through every single one of them. Gave our grade. Gave if we thought they'd be there in 5 years. We also went through the SEC West win totals, and we drafted the week 0 games.
That's 3 separate episodes.
Three
in
separate.
one
Yes.
mega apocalypse. Now
I wanted to cover more, guys. I had to go to the bathroom. Had to turn it off. But can we work on getting a toilet perhaps in the studio?
Sorry.
Kramer's taking personal calls. Kramer, we're live on the air.
I don't know how that's stuck.
We
through.
have to know who called.
I have a dentist appointment.
Okay.
They're reminding me.
All right. Well,
But also we have USFL coming too, guys.
USFL coming tomorrow. Of course, NBA playoffs heating up. We did our NBA playoff predictions with the great Moonoff and Terrell from the NBA Gambling Podcast. Got a pretty funny YouTube comment on that episode. Shout out, homie Top Right for doing his homework. That was Moonoff. Homie Hostin is embarrassing. Man thinks Philly is a better city than Toronto. Imagine a team that regularly beats another team being the underdog. LOL. Host is ball casual. I know he's trying to insult me, but ball casual.
Sean's gonna keep that.
I'm
one.
all in on ball casual. It sounds like active. Sounds like a nice pair of sweatpants. Just they're ball casual. All right, we got so much to get to. First off, we're giving away $500 in our NBA playoff bracket challenge. Very easy to set up. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA playoffs or click the contest link in the SGPN app. Oh man, listen to that sound. Sure, it's months away, but just because college football isn't happening this weekend doesn't mean you can't bet on college football over at the great WynnBET. Download that Wynn betting app. Head over there. Get started today. We're going to be talking about SEC East win totals. Some of our favorites, of course. Wynn has that awesome bet $10 get $200 promotion where $10 bet qualifies you for up to $200 in free bets, 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000 in the WynnBET Casino. And of course, the build your own bet feature, aka same game parlays. Get started today. Just download the WynnBET app or visit wynnbet.com Get started today. Bet big, win bigger with WinBet. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older in present state where playthrough WinBet is available. If you or someone you know is a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
Nailed it.
That music got me. Hey, and also college football.
You talking
experience.
about that disclaimer? Is that what got you going? That's what got me going.
College football experience on YouTube. I want to plug that, and I want to say
maybe we don't plug it yet.
Daily shows.
Maybe if people find it, it's great, but it's a work in progress.
Come on, it's easy. I can do this all day. You
don't build a bathroom with glass walls.
Who said that?
That is a is that a parable, Ryan?
I mean, I fucking
Harry S. Truman.
You gotta be able to come up with these on the fly when you're coaching kids. It's important.
Do they like the glass bathroom metaphor?
Quick aside, I have really enjoyed watching Ted Lasso so far because it's pretty much my life.
Ryan keeps trying to pitch me on Ted Lasso. Go, have you seen Ted Lasso? I watched one episode of Ted Lasso. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, it's a soccer show. I get it.
But Ryan, I think it's just as a soccer coach, it's right in your wheelhouse.
100% up my wheel. I mean, it's the dad humor with the youth soccer elements. It's beautiful. They do have this. Not to dive into the show, but they do have a whole scene dedicated to the Iverson practice speech. It's a clever show. I think you should give it another shot. Soccer.
Yeah,
that is World Cup coming. Come on, soccer. Sean's got to wake up.
What are they doing having it in the winter?
I agree. That's a horrible decision, but it's happening. The U.S. Will be there, so we have to support it. All right, let's talk about football now.
Let's do it
real quick before we talk about football. Rest in peace, Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh my God, all time.
On top of just being an absolute I don't know, would you say an undertone to the entire Stern show? Just Godfrey.
His sound drops were amazing,
both as a guest and the sound drops.
When they made crank calls with his sound drops, and he was just an all-time interesting, person. And
his soundtrack Affleck tweets I thought were very funny.
Soundtrack to my childhood. And yes, most of the younger generation will know him as the duck in Affleck, but
Aladdin, right?
Well, that's what I was going to say.
He's in Beverly Hills Cop.
What I found to just be truly amusing and warmed my heart today is when I saw on Twitter, it doesn't say comedian Gilbert Gottfried. It says comedian something and former Aladdin star Gilbert Gottfried. So that's how my kids probably know him. Anyway,
very funny comic. R.I.P. Great Gilbert Gottfried. Yeah. Just don't say he struggled with his time at the Redskins.
No,
I don't know if you saw Adam Schefter got a ton of heat for. And R.I.P. Dwayne Haskins. That was
Gary Brown, former Houston Oilers running back, just passed away.
Yeah,
coach for the Wisconsin Badgers.
I mean, I as someone who just eats up criminal cases and crime mysteries, I do want to know a little bit more about how someone gets run over by a dump truck. But that is
crazy story, and it's a shame. I mean,
and as usual, who handles it best? Mike Tomlin.
I mean, again,
dude's a fucking man.
If there was any
coach of the year, baby.
If there was any team to have a redemption story with Dwayne Haskins, it's unfortunate because I think Pittsburgh was probably one of the better places for him to possibly, turn it around and have a redemption story. So, unfortunately.
Big Ben tweeted something. I don't think Big Ben's tweeting.
He seemed like a popular guy in the locker room.
From what I understand, he was a great guy. Everyone that's ever I think crossed paths with him said he was great.
He took selfies with fans. I mean, granted, it was during the game, and some could argue he should be out taking a snap. But again, it seemed like a great guy.
He was taking snaps
in Vegas for March Madness. I didn't see you take any selfies with fans.
I actually did.
Yeah, you did actually. Yeah, always awkward when you take the selfie.
Hey, you should have tagged me. Nice guy from Montana. Hang out. We had a couple drinks.
There is it's
tag me so I can retweet it and seem famous.
I now know how athletes must feel when other dudes come up to them and say, "Hey man, can I take a selfie with you?"
Yeah, why not? Sure.
Two can tango. Let's go. All right. Ready to go? Are we going to go top to bottom or bottom to top?
Start at the bottom. We're bottom feeders.
Well, let's get started with our favorite private school in the SEC. Still unclear why they let Vanderbilt stay around. I don't even think they contribute. They don't contribute much in basketball anymore. 1.5 is their win total this year. Comically low. This is we'll call this a Jayhawk going forward. -115 on the over, -105 on the under. a comical 1,000 to 1. An SEC team is 1,000 to 1. SEC gets 2 teams in the playoff every year, and one of their teams is 1,000 to 1 to win the college football playoff. So do that math real quick to figure out how bad Vanderbilt is in the worst half of the SEC, the East. So are you guys going to foolishly take an over on a shit team again this year and brag about it at the end of the year when they win 2 games?
100%.
Lock it up, Sean.
They got 6 transfers coming in from Nashville with immediate eligibility. I love that. They also inked the nation's number 32 overall recruiting class. That's pretty good for Vanderbilt. 4-star linebacker Daniel Martin, 4-star defensive back Jadaeus Richard. I think.
And if anyone,
I think Clark Lee is kind of, again, turning the program around would be a stretch, but this could very well be a 3-win team. I mean, have you looked at their schedule?
I think it's gonna be because Hawaii out the gate. Hawaii is a dumpster fire right now.
Hawaii, yep. A new coach.
Yeah,
crazy.
new coach, an administration that doesn't seem like they're very interested in making the right moves to be successful.
Got Elon at home.
Yeah,
at Northern Illinois,
very winnable. Those 3 are winnable games, and then you factor in like they could beat I don't know South Carolina or Missouri.
This is a smash over, and yeah, I think
they can catch Tennessee sleeping too because they have back-to-back home games at the end, Florida and Tennessee. While they won't be favored, I mean, you could see Tennessee at the end of the season.
Do they win a conference game?
I think they go 1-7 in conference.
Well, then they definitely go over.
They're gonna go 2-0 to start the season.
I'm with you. I'll take the over, and I think this is, if you're not to tout other media outlets, but if you have listened to the Cover 3 podcast in the past, Barton Simmons was the former recruiting guy on the show. Really, like a solid listen. He now is like I think I just looked at general managers of his official title for Vanderbilt. So overseeing the recruiting and perhaps
are they propping up those recruiting numbers because of his affiliation with 24/7?
It's a 2-way street. Wait, Ron, you have a guy who came from the recruiting space, worked for a while in media, now running a team. So yeah, they could be nice to him in the rankings, but also it could be because he's just a sharp guy who knows the landscape, and maybe it doesn't take much to get a SEC team to go from being, a middle of the road recruiting team to an above average one.
But
right?
32nd in the nation for Vanderbilt is pretty awesome.
Even if,
I think if you put it in the perspective of, are they the worst SEC recruit in class? Probably.
Yeah, I would think so. But maybe.
But that's my point.
I think the drop off maybe not as big as previous years.
Yeah, no, but that's my point. Like all you have to do is get yourself up to below average in the SEC to have a good team. Yeah. And so when you're talking about 3 winnable out of conference games,
yeah, maybe even 4. I mean, look,
they're not beating Wake.
I mean, you never know. Wake plays some close games sometimes.
Calm down.
Look,
I'll go over.
Clark
with you guys,
Lee
though.
was in year 1 last year, so even if this is a failure as a hire, which I'm not convinced yet it is, but in year 2 the system is going to be more fluid. It's going to be more fluid in Hawaii and Elon. That's not Murderer's Row.
Like I just don't know. Like which game do they circle on their schedule? Like we can beat this in conference game team.
I mean, I think they're capable of beating.
No,
Missouri,
I know they're capable, but like
South Carolina,
who
Tennessee.
do they build up for? Who's the big game on their schedule?
I think you got to go the Tennessee route, right?
And I think it's already. I think Wynn has an updated total already at 2.
Oh,
but we can pick it at.
I'm still on the over.
We can still pick it at 1.5 minus 180 because that's what it was earlier today. So. Plus 150 on the under.
It's a fair.
I mean, Northern Illinois, yes, they had a good season a year ago, but they were lucky in a lot of games.
I'll pick it at 2 even juice if that's the offer.
Okay, yeah, let's do that then.
I don't need to lay 180. I'd rather have the.
I'm fine. No.
I'm worried this team's gonna suck again, and All right,
lock it up, Vandy.
Missouri. Big jump here. Missouri up to 5 wins, plus 100 on the over, -1. Does this need to be updated, Sean? -120 on the under. 400 to 1 to win the national championship. I feel like Missouri's a squad you got to you got to circle and worry that Colby's going to give you a little bit of an emotional handicap when it comes to the Tigers. It seems like he's fond of the program,
not with Drakowitz.
Of the coach, maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you've steered me incorrectly. They lost
their quarterback though, Connor Bazalek.
Yeah, Bazelak. He's at Indiana now.
Juice.
Yeah.
Well, who's going to start for quarterback at Missouri? Do we know that yet?
We don't. We're gonna find out. Maybe Brady Cook. We shall see. But I still think you got to ride the over, and that logic is simply based on the fact that their schedule. What they have. What
they also lost Tyler Batty, who led the SEC in rushing yards last year. They did bring in 5-star Luther Burden, a nice receiver there, but I don't know. I kind of have some questions about the offense.
How does Missouri recruit all these top players?
They're in the SEC. Louisiana Tech, Abilene Christian, Vanderbilt, New Mexico State. See, you got to remember New Mexico State, part of the SEC expansion plans.
Yeah,
and
they could lose to Abilene Christian, right?
No, they'll beat them. Yeah. So I think you got to ride the over. I think you got to. I think it's a pretty solid play too, because I think that K-State game is winnable. I think the Auburn game is winnable. I think
Georgia at home.
Well, that's not winnable, but I mean
at Florida bye week, Vanderbilt at home.
At Florida this year, it wouldn't surprise me if they caught them. Vanderbilt, I think they can win. South Carolina, kind of a 50-50 game. I guess we'd favor Carolina, but not by too much.
Well, again, Carolina, South Carolina, the Gamecocks are probably the biggest wild card in the SEC. I mean, the floor ceiling for South Carolina, I think, is pretty high or pretty crazy, because it all depends on, bringing in Rattler and how much of that offense gels and how long it takes to figure out. So I think they're a massive variance team.
Say South his Carolina. Name, Beamer. Didn't even say Beamer's name.
Kentucky at home, at Tennessee, New Mexico State at home, Razorbacks at home.
Give me the over. There's a lot of 50-50 games in there.
Yeah. I'm going to go under, but I'm not touching this as far as a lock. Kramer, what are you doing?
I would lean under as well. I think, like I said, I don't quite understand how he gets these recruiting classes, but it doesn't seem like Missouri ever puts it together. They pop their head up every once in a while, but there's too many other teams in this side of the conference I like better.
I mean, he made a bowl last year. He'll do it again.
Maybe you're right. I'm just there's I think they're appropriately priced at 5.
Under for Kramer and I, over for Colby. Oh man, what a crazy time of year. Spring, you got the graduation, you got Kramer dealing with all his soccer. I'm going to be doing a little traveling. I'm actually going to Colorado for some stand-up comedy shows. Check out the social media for that, but also to enjoy some Coors Light in person in Colorado, going to the source of Rocky Mountain refreshment. Oh man. Again, I actually did the Coors Light tour years ago. It was awesome to actually see where they get to make Coors Light. Got an awesome Coors Light t-shirt that I just wore out completely. I wore it for like 10 years straight. Again, I love Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment, especially you get those long neck bottles, just goes down so smooth because it's ice cold, cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged, literally made to chill. And you can get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/SGP. That's CoorsLight.com/SGP. And remember to always celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Oh, while we're here though, also talking about athletic greens and the new AG1. Been taking it every day. Kramer, I know you're an AG1 guy as well.
I mean,
you put it on your soy.
Let me switch. Can you please address Soy Boy when you want to talk about the AG1?
How are you enjoying your AG1?
I don't want to mislead people, but I'm wondering, my kids, they drink this protein shake in the morning and sometimes they want a second one at night. Well, Soy Boy's been might have had a little midnight AG1.
Oh wow!
Little double dip yesterday. That's how good it's been.
I've been drinking it.
Playing soccer again, Sean. I'm healed.
Wow,
my back's healed. I don't know if that's in the copy that it heals back pain, but it does everything for me.
Again, very easy to do, and it tastes well. That's usually why people don't do healthy stuff. Is it's a pain in the ass or it tastes like crap. Neither is the case for AG1. 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source, superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day off right. I down it with 8 ounces of water. They also have some travel packs, so I'm traveling a little bit, which you would normally be a pain to take like a giant jug with you. Travel packs very easy to do. Mix up with some water and make things easy. Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is go to athleticgreens.com/SGP. Remember, Athletic Greens, over 7,000 5-star reviews, helps you with better sleep and recovery. athleticgreens.com/SGP to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Sean.
Yeah.
You got to let me know how this stuff tastes at elevation.
All right. I will. I'll give you an updated elevation.
I'd imagine maybe it takes the stirs a little longer. I don't know. There's probably something different, but wow. To think you're going to be AG1ing at mile high. And then also generating some sweet Coors Light content.
Oh yeah.
They had no idea what they signed up for.
Look out.
Sean is a man of his. All right, let's move on. South Carolina, the Gamecocks, 6. Shane Beamer and the boys over -150 plus 130 on the under, 100-1 to win the Natty. As you mentioned, they bring in former #1 overall recruit, I believe, Spencer Rattler. An accurate statement. I mean, this team is, strangely, I think Beamer has some pressure on him. I think strangely him being in the discussion for a microsecond about Virginia Tech's job and him having to kind of come out and make that commitment to South Carolina created this weird pressure on him this year. Now you bring in a top QB, an excuse-proof QB. I think I'm concerned. There's a lot of pressure here for no good reason.
They have a lot of talent around him too. They brought in a bunch of tight ends: Austin Stogner from Oklahoma, Jaheim Bell. Who else did they bring in? Wells had 21 touchdown catches in just 22 career games.
They definitely won the transfer portal, but at the same time, you look at the schedule and you say, okay, 6 wins. Okay, let's say it's Georgia State, Charlotte,
hard, right?
South Carolina State. That's 3. Let's say they get Missouri 4, Vanderbilt 5. Then where's your 6? Let's say they upset A&M. That's 6, but you need 7. And don't forget Georgia State in that season opener. 2 years ago or 3 years ago, season opener, they beat Tennessee in Knoxville. Last year, they probably should have beat Auburn. I think they were the better team on the field. Auburn converted like a 4th and 17. I think they're more likely that they drop to 5 than to get to 7. I think it's a pretty solid bet to take the under in South Carolina.
Where are you at, Kramer?
I mean, I was going back to see where they were last year because we were all bullish on them last year. All took over 4, and it was that's when your win total's 4. There's no expectations. You're not in your 3rd year as a head coach. You're not you're not following up you almost were a head coach somewhere else. See, like there's all this weird shit, and on top of it, Spencer Rattler's just soft.
He's a vegan in Columbia, South Carolina. It ain't gonna work.
He's soft.
Where is he gonna get a vegan friendly menu?
So hey, soy boy, where what's your spot?
Well,
I'm not a meat truther. I do think it's difficult to be a vegan and a professional and an athlete, a high level athlete. And I do think it takes a little bit extra. And I think South Carolina is this kid went from Oklahoma to the SEC. The mental pressure is no easier here. I don't know why we think he's just going to turn it around. Well, as much as I want to blindly back a Beamer, I don't want to lay -150 on the over here. I like Colby's schedule analysis, and it seems like if I'm going to sit on a push at 6, this is the gun to your head, 5 or 7. What's more likely? To me, it's 5.
Well, especially if you're getting plus odds on the under. They lost a bunch of their defense had kind of been carrying them last couple seasons. They lost a bunch of guys for their defense. Jabari Ellis, he's going pro. Jalen Foster, who led the SEC in interceptions. When you lose that kind of production, turnover wise, that can be tough to replace immediately. What do you think of their defense, Colby?
I mean, I think last year was encouraging. It was encouraging. I thought he overachieved, but I do, and I think the defense certainly overachieved. But
I want to Benedict Dant this one. I'm going to root for them to do well. No, I don't know how you can bet on Spencer Rattler like coming into a very difficult situation and all of a sudden not having issues. He came from the most quarterback friendly system on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And the more we lay out the case, I think it's going to take, if it does work, it might take a little while for it to gel, especially on the offensive side. and by that time, the 7 wins you have to get to is probably out the window. So yeah, I'm gonna go under with you guys, especially at plus 130.
Yeah,
Right?
I think it's a pretty good play.
I mean, again, I think
If they lose week 1 to Georgia State, which is possible, you're gonna cash that. I would think.
I think we'll know pretty early on if this is going to be good or bad, just based on what Spencer Rattler looks like. Honestly, like if he comes out slinging, it's like, all right, I was wrong. This dude's a baller. He just needed to change the scenery. I just don't know how you leave Lincoln Riley's system and get better. Like everyone goes the Lincoln Riley system to get drafted, win the Heisman.
Yeah.
Florida 7 -110 each way, 60-1 to win the Natty. Again, kind of a win total future discrepancy here. Having much better future to win the national championship than some teams with 1 and 1.5 wins above them. So
yeah, wow, that's crazy. Look at Tennessee's 100 to 1 to win it, and a 1.5 difference on the win total.
In the West, we saw this with LSU. Could simply be that, right? Florida, massive fan base, tremendous amount of probably betting power. So probably just have to depress it a little bit. The just in case insurance from the book here. I mean, Florida is interesting, right? I think we liked the coach. I think I liked the idea of the coach. I don't know if I like the idea of the coach in Florida year 1 having a successful year.
I mean, I'm even a question of like on the. I think the coach did a good job at Louisiana, but I thought he benefited from being in the Sun Belt West and not the East. But
shit gets a lot like shit's getting real, you know.
Anthony Richardson was a big time recruit. He's back, you know.
So
to
you
play
think,
quarterback.
what do you think of Napier overall, Colby?
I think the jury's still out on him.
We liked him.
I mean, we liked that Louisiana team, but we didn't.
You like him as a coach at Louisiana?
Yes, I thought he did a great job. He's their winningest coach all the time, but
it's a good team. Like
he
it's
was
a
only
legit
there
good program.
5 years,
Yep.
but he would benefited from. Neil Brown left Troy at that time. ULM was dog shit. South Alabama and Arkansas State aren't much. So you got a lot of house wins there. You know what I mean? Like, so are you really that legit? No, he's got Saban and Dabo Swinney ties. So he's probably going to be able to recruit really well at Florida, I would think.
To me, I didn't do. I don't have as much info as far as like what to expect from their defense, because their defense was probably the biggest issue last year. Averaging letting up 27 points per game. You bring in, Napier is kind of more, former quarterback. He's an offensive guy. Is he really going to be the one that turns the defense around? I don't know.
Well, the quarterback play was bad too last year. I mean, Emory Jones, Anthony Richardson, whatever it was, they weren't necessarily setting the world on fire either. But yes, the defense was.
You think Anthony Richardson's going to be the guy?
He's a big time recruit. He's supposed to be the real deal. Look,
if
how
he's
about
not,
this?
then it's an under.
Here's the real reason why you take the over. They play their second away game.
Oh, here we go. I like
on
it.
Saturday, November 5th. Guys, the season ends on November 25th. They play their second. Let me repeat that. They play their second away game 20 days before the season ends.
Wow, that's crazy. They have their bye week October 22nd, and they don't even. And that's before their second bye week. So to rattle up their schedule real quick: Utah Utes at home. That's going to be a tough game. Kentucky at home, USF Bulls at home, at Tennessee, Eastern Washington at home, Missouri at home, LSU at home. Bye week, Georgia at home, Georgia neutral field. At Texas A&M, South Carolina at home, at Vandy, at Florida State.
I mean, that's a great. Even your back-to-back away, they got back-to-back away, but it's at Vandy, at Florida State. Both those teams suck.
Yeah,
it's a really nice schedule. They do it only 4 away games.
Your main argument. I mean, it's the recruit. It's back to the recruiting, right? Like that was Dan Mullen's. That was the nail in Dan.
It wasn't even that bad though. Mullen was like charting at 12th, and fans are like, "No, he can't recruit." It's like, dude, you're 12th out of 130 teams. That's not that bad. But yes,
what do you think success is for him in year 1? I guess that's the.
I think he hits the over. I think they go 8-4.
No, but I mean, what do you think what do you think the program will view as success?
I think if you can get a win against, if you can beat the teams projected ahead of you, which are Tennessee and Georgia, if obviously I don't think you're going to win both of those, but if you can steal one of those, I think they'll be happy. 8 wins would be to me a successful first year.
Can they get to 8 wins without beating Kentucky, South Carolina, Missouri, and Vanderbilt?
Missouri, no.
They have to win those games, right?
They could beat Utah potentially because they're playing that game in Gainesville.
So here's my issue, right? If you look at the schedule, who do they have from the other side? They have LSU and who? A&M.
They could beat A&M.
So they got to beat LSU. They catch LSU at
home. Third home game.
But the way I work
last
the
time
schedule,
they went to College Station,
they're not beating Utah, right?
No, that's at the Swamp though, man. That's a far trip, man.
I think that's a
Utah's
tough.
Gonna fuck them up.
I think they could beat Utah.
I think normally yes, but Saturday, September 3rd, Ryan. We talk about this in the NFL, but I think it applies especially in college. You think those kids from Utah are going to be able to handle the heat and humidity
in the Swamp? That's what I'm saying. Home field advantage is everything in college sports.
If it's a night game, maybe, but I think they're these, cornbread or these milquetoast kids from Utah are going to be sweating their ass off.
I think if you lose to Kentucky, I think this win total comes down real quick.
Kentucky's only won once in Gainesville in the past 25 years.
Yeah. So second week of the season, if they beat Kentucky, I think they're on the path.
Actually, I think 35 years. I think they've only won once since 1988 in Gainesville.
I'm with Colby. I like the over 7. I think 8 is your maybe 9's the ceiling, but probably 8.
That's my problem.
What is the for sure loss? What is the for sure loss?
Who are they losing to?
I think it's Georgia. That's it.
A&M.
A&M is not some. This is a team that beat Colorado by 3 in Denver last year.
At A&M after that Georgia game.
That is tough. I think
they probably lose. I mean,
but it's not a for sure loss.
If you say lose, scroll up a little bit, Colby. If you say where will they be underdogs? They will be.
They might be underdogs week 1.
Tennessee. Yeah. They'll be underdogs probably week 1. I agree with that. They'll be underdogs. Will they be underdogs against LSU? No. Scroll down.
But they own Tennessee.
They'll be underdogs against Georgia, A&M.
They own Tennessee. Even last year. Last year's like the worst year in Florida football. And what? I think McElwain had one really bad year too. But
I mean,
they're still going to Tennessee 38-14.
Right. They're probably going to go 7-5. Is what's going to happen.
I'll go over. Yeah, it does seem like 6 is more realistic than 8, but I'll go over.
Their second road game is on November 5th. That's ridiculous. And people are okay with a 14 playoff.
Oh, here we go. You see what we've done?
It's so stupid. It's just so stupid. It's like you cannot compare that resume to a team that plays 6 or 7 away games.
And we're talking about Kentucky. Mark Stoops, the owner of the greatest contract in college football. Win total is 8 -110 each way. 100-1 to win the Natty. I mean, do we just have to point out that Mark Stoops does what? He gets his team into bowl games, period. Because that's what his contract says. He gets another year of an extension every time he does that.
I thought this was the hardest one for me. This was the hardest one to project out of the SEC East.
Well, it's very difficult because typically, like last year, we pick this at 7, maybe 6. And what does that tell you? Well, I know he needs to get to 7 wins to get that bonus.
Yeah.
Because 7 wins locks him up another year of a contract.
And his out of conference schedule this year is dog shit.
Well, but this year it's 8, which means I got to bet on him to get back to almost double-digit wins for would it be the 3rd year in a row?
Well, like they're going to beat Miami, Youngstown State, Northern Illinois, and Louisville, right? That's 4 wins there. Vanderbilt being a 5th. The question is, can you find 3 other wins on that schedule? And I think you could circle the South Carolina game in Lexington. You could circle the Mississippi State game in Lexington. That would knock you up to 7. Where's the 8th to get you to just pushing? I'm leaning under because of that. I did think it was one of the harder ones though, because there's a lot of 50-50 games. Like at Ole Miss, I'd favor Ole Miss by a field goal, but it wouldn't shock me if Kentucky won that game.
The issue with me though is Kentucky kind of lives and dies with the guys in the trenches. They've lost 3 starters on the offensive line. Are you worried about their offense because of that, Colby?
Well, I'm always worried about their offense because it's never prolific.
No,
their defense has been their calling card that's Stoops' specialty. I think the under is what you do here. I think it really makes the most sense to take the under. I mean they haven't,
especially at 8. To Ryan's point, if this was 7, I think it's almost an easy over. But you can only have 3 losses to give away on this Kentucky team.
Yeah.
And I can find more than 3 losses, right? Like just walking through the schedule, Miami of Ohio at home. All right, that's fine. At Florida, that's going to be tough, especially early in the season. Young State at home, NIU, Huskies at home. All right, those are fine. At Ole Miss, that's an interesting game.
Probably a loss. They're going to be a dog.
Yeah,
they're going to be a dog in that.
Small dog.
Yeah.
South Carolina at home, Mississippi State at home.
Dangerous.
Yeah. And
both
then
of those games are dangerous.
At Tennessee, back-to-back road game coming up against at Missouri, Vanderbilt at home, Georgia at home. Louisville.
I have the terms right now. So Stoops is currently making $5.25 million. Every that escalates by $1.25 million or something like that every couple years until 2027, where he gets $8 million. If he wins 7 times this year, he locks in 2028 at $8.25 million. If he wins 10 games this year, he'll lock in additionally 2029 at $9 million.
He could win 10.
This is the greatest contract in sports, Sean.
Yeah,
this guy can go under his win total and lock in an extension on his contract.
No, and that's I think.
Let's think about that.
I mean, again, I think he goes 7-5. He can coast 7-5. You're definitely getting in a bowl game. You probably get in at 6-6, right?
Yeah. 6.
If you're in
6
the
is your
SEC?
qualifier. Yeah.
I don't like it when you look at the schedule, but I'll.
Why don't you let? Oh,
you're on the over?
No, I'm on the under. I'm saying like the schedule is soft. But I'm with you. You've kind of talked me into Florida beating Kentucky in that spot, and that I think for both those teams, I think that game defines their win total. Well, hot take.
Awesome week 2 matchup.
Hot take.
Ryan.
Yes.
Speaking of hot takes, Trade Coffee is amazing. It's not even a hot take. It's just nice hot cup of coffee. Best way to wake up in the morning. Set my I get excited the night before when I open up the beans. It's almost like getting ready for Christmas Eve, because you wake up the next day and you just got that nice pot of Trade Coffee ready to go. Again, you might be a coffee snob, or you're like Colby, just hey, fire me a hot cup of Joe. Trade Coffee has you covered. Their coffee experts personally taste over 450 roasts, so they know exactly what to recommend for you. And you're thinking, how do they know? Well, you start with the coffee quiz. Take a little coffee quiz, very easy to get through, and it's great because they'll send you bags that specifically match your taste. I'm a whole bean guy. Love the smell. Again, when I walk by our mailbox, I can smell it coming from the bag. That's how strong and how tasty these beans smell. Trade is offering new subscribers a total of $30 off your first order, plus free shipping when you go to drinktrade.com/SGP. That's more than 40 cups of coffee for free. Get started by taking their quiz over at drinktrade.com/SGP and let Trade find you a coffee you'll love. That's drinktrade.com/SGP for $30 off. And of course, Stable Duel is happening this weekend, happening all the time. They have free games, paid games. You can win a ton of money over at Stable Duel. Again, the Florida Derby, they gave out more than $40,000. Try it out with the free games if you like it, and I know you will. You'll upgrade to the paid games. It's DFS, but for horse racing. We got a ton of horse racing content coming out soon. Horse racing podcast picks. You can check out sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Get you started for some horse racing action. Get in on the app, create your account. Very easy to set up your stable. All you got to do is go to stableduel.com, see how many winners you can pick in your stable. And I'll see you in the winner's circle. Play, race, win. Stableduel.com.
Well done, Sean. I was reading, continuing to read about Mark Stoops' contract. His buyout is comical. He gets 75% of the remaining salary on his contract. So right now, that number is $28.125 million.
Jesus, that's 75%, or he would get 75% of that.
He would get
either
that.
way.
No, that is the number he would get if they fired him today. He would have to pay back 1.75 though. So.
Tough.
And you're not even the best. You're not even. Is he like? Where is he in the SEC coaches, Colby? Is he? Top,
I mean, he's doing a good job at Kentucky.
Is he top 3?
No, not at all.
Imagine.
Yeah.
When's the last time Kentucky was this consistently good?
That's what I'm saying. He is doing a great job at Kentucky, but I mean, yeah.
Sometimes you need to have managed expectations. The fact that they're happy with 7-win seasons.
He's building culture there. Even Kentucky basketball fans that were never interested in football are telling me, "Hey,
win every year."
Yeah.
I mean, winning every year is better than losing every year. So 7 wins is better than 2 wins. Vanderbilt, Tennessee 8.5. Former Hokie Hendon Hooker, Heisman hopeful, grabbed him at 40-1 on the last college episode. -115 for the over. -105 for the under. Tennessee also 100-1 to win the national championship. That's something I would maybe sprinkle. Go for 2.
All right, prop swap.
I mean,
stop it.
If this offense is right, could they win the East?
No.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
But, is their offense the problem? Yes, they're bringing back 4 of their offensive line.
Is trash.
Tennessee had the worst pass defense in the SEC, and they lost their 2 best defensive backs. Colby? How are they going to play defense in Tennessee?
Well, and
I know they're gonna win, a la the Phillies and their offense. Shout out to my Fightins, off to a nice 3-1 start. Look out!
And let's circle what they draw from the West: Alabama and LSU, and that's at LSU.
Is that hard?
Yes, and let's be honest here. I felt like they got, the offense. Heupel did great in year 1. It seemed like a great hire, but I feel like the
Coach
SEC East got better. They benefited from some teams really having some down years, like Florida, and South Carolina and Missouri. They weren't up to par. I know they still made some bowl games, but I think I'm going to ride the under. I mean, with 8.5, I had them going 8-4 or 7-5. They get Pat Narduzzi week 2. Heupel's winless against Narduzzi. He's lost both matchups against him. So I think that's a tough game. Last year they didn't even beat Florida. Florida still waxed them. So I don't know what makes you think that's a guaranteed win there against Florida. Then they get at LSU and home to Alabama.
Ooh.
And then games like Kentucky, that's kind of a 50-50 game. At Georgia is a loss.
So you have at Georgia, at LSU, and Alabama at home.
And I think they lose either to Pitt, Florida, or South Carolina.
So
potentially Kentucky.
You can get to 4 losses pretty easily. I'm with you, Colby. I'm on the under here.
I mean, you don't think that potential first pick overall in the NFL draft, Hendon Hooker, can carry this team?
I think he could light it up, but still,
ride that over, buddy.
There's the SEC is no. I mean, they're turning into the goddamn Big 12 over here with the offense. Getting
LSU and Bama from the West says enough right there.
Yeah,
because you still have to play Georgia, so you're potentially playing 3 of the top recruiting teams in the country right there. You're not going to have that advantage.
If you lose those 3, you have to win out to hit your over, and it's -115. I mean, I don't mind Kramer's long shot of like them to win the Natty or Hooker to win the Heisman, but just on the win total, something they're more interesting to win. I mean, like, what would they? I know the prices aren't out yet, but what do you think they are to win the SEC East? Ryan's got the calculator app or something going on.
Well, they would be the second favorite to win it, but
they'd still be long.
They still got to go to Georgia. Georgia will have the tiebreaker on them then.
I mean, Georgia being 3 wins north of them, probably we're looking at what, like a 10-1. I was playing some. I was low rent. Play some. You got the soundboard. You got this on the soundboard.
This, yeah.
Come on, Alan Cooley. Where are you, Alan Cooley? I'm coming for you this year. I am adopting Hendon Hooker, the Tennessee Volunteers. Someone send me a Tennessee shirt. They're my SEC team this year from the East because of course
I was about to be offended there.
Hail State.
Hail State.
But Rocky Top, 2022. I'm a Tennessee fan. Let's fucking go. I already got my Hendon Hooker to win the Heisman at 40-1. Now I'm taking the over on 8.5. I'm taking Tennessee to win the national championship 100-1. I'm taking Tennessee to win the
throwing
East.
Money down the drain.
I'm taking Tennessee to win the SEC. If you can change,
I'll see you in the losers.
and we can change. Georgia 11.5, 200, plus 200 on the over, minus 250 on the under. Is this live? Do we have an update here? Maybe it's gone down to 11 and we can reasonably talk about it.
I mean, again, these early win totals will shift. Well, especially because I don't think a lot of places have them, but yeah, WinBet, it's still plus 200 on the over, and then under 11.5 is minus 250. I like taking again, it's chalky, but give me over 11.5. You're getting 2-1 on this Georgia team.
No.
I like taking the over on them and Alabama. One of those teams, if not both, go undefeated.
I'm on the under
by a mile.
But they only have they only have 4 away games, but
they could lose them all.
That neutral site game in Atlanta against Oregon is really
they're going to
really
be
a far trip for them,
and then it's over.
That's really neutral. But Oregon, who do Oregon hire as their head coach? Dan Lanning, former Georgia defensive coordinator. So if there's going to be anyone that knows how to shut down Stetson Bennett, perhaps it's the Ducks.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot they have Stetson Bennett.
The quarterback.
Yeah.
Still Stetson.
I'm not
Stetson
taking
Bennett.
the under that minus 250 though.
Are there any other players from the college football tournament still playing in college football?
They're going to go 11-1. Charlie Brewer's at Liberty.
Okay.
They're going to go 11-1 probably. I think maybe South Carolina could, but it's going to be
defense has to be slightly worse, right? Because I feel like
they're still going to be loaded.
I feel like they have 5 guys going in the first round.
They're still going to be loaded, but hear me out here.
Their offense is going to have a hot
take. I have a hot take.
What's that?
Oh, hot.
Georgia loses 3 straight games this season.
What?
Florida, Tennessee, at Mississippi State.
That's somehow hotter than your Tennessee Volunteers national title.
Under.
That's a reckless take.
What do you mean
They're
it's a
not
reckless
losing
take?
3 games in a row.
Stetson Bennett is the quarterback, right?
He's 35 years old now.
Anything's possible.
I do think this. I do think between Oregon, the game at South Carolina, the game at Missouri, the world's largest cocktail party with Florida, and then at Mississippi State or at Kentucky, one team will bite them. One team. They'll go 11-1. They'll be in the college football playoff again or the SEC championship again.
They're going to have 2 SEC East losses this year.
Hey,
you like that? Tennessee's winning the East, baby. They're both going to be 5-2. Tennessee has the tiebreaker because they beat them head to head
in Athens.
Yep.
Between the hedges. Why couldn't they play that Oregon game in Athens? By the way, what the hell? No one wants to watch a football game at the Mercedes-Benz bullshit.
You guys
play
don't
that
realize
between the hedges.
The SEC doesn't really have.
You know why they're doing it? So they can have the Chick-fil-A open. Normally it's closed because since they're closed on Sunday, all the Falcons home games,
guys,
they got. It's about employing Chick-fil-A workers.
The SEC is not used to seeing NFL caliber quarterbacks like Hendon Hooker. All right, Georgia's defense is in for a surprise on what date is it? On Saturday, November.
Bryce Young wasn't NFL caliber. That's right. You're a hater.
I'm not sold on him.
You're a hater on Bryce Young.
November 5th. Watch out. Let's go. All right, that's it. We did it all. Are we talking about a lock? Maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
Locks for the SEC East win totals brought to you by PropSwap.com, where America goes to buy and sell real sports bets. Perfect place. Again, you're heading out to Vegas, maybe stop by the Win, grab some win over under win totals. Get 2, of course. We recommend going for 2. You have 1 you can sell on PropSwap as it increases in value. It's the best part about PropSwap. You don't need to win your bet to cash. All you need to do is have an increase in value. It's where smart buyers go to buy and sell real sports bets. PropSwap.com, promo code SGP, instant deposit match up to $500. How many locks we doing?
For example,
just 1.
Good example of going for 2. Tennessee to win the national championship. Price is going to come way down when they're leading in the East. Price is going to come way down when they beat Georgia. So grab it now, 100 to 1. Go for 2, so you can sell half.
Wait, we're only
Make
doing
that
one
money
lock.
back.
Is that what?
How
is
many
that the
locks
deal?
do you want?
2.
What did we do on
two.
the last show?
We did 1, but then we also threw out some.
We talked Heisman.
We did talk Heisman.
So let's do 2.
All right, we'll do 2 locks. Dueling locks. Kramer,
This is
you're
so easy.
you're hot for teacher.
So fucking easy.
Why don't you give out yours? I'm going to pencil in Tennessee over 8.5.
Tennessee over 8.5.
You can't go that hard and not take them as a lock.
Georgia under 11.5.
Wow.
This is the hangover season of all hangover seasons.
It is
guys.
funny. I feel like these are pretty correlated because it could just come down to one game.
Yeah,
I'm going to say
it's like Kentucky under Florida.
one of my
over.
locks, Vanderbilt over 2. Although again, if WinBet flashes that 1.5 minus 180, lay the juice. Vandy is getting 2 wins.
Watch out, WinBet. Sean's coming for you.
If not 3.
Sean's like a creepo in the car. If that broad flashes me that side tit again,
Oh,
I'm gonna
hey.
take care of myself.
When you pull up that skirt a little bit, WinBet, let's see what's cooking under there. I'm gonna go for my other lock. Give me Florida over 7. I just don't see them bottoming out at 6-6, and 7 feels like a great number for them. In the same way that we like Kentucky over 7 previous years, I feel like that's this year's Florida team. Kramer or Colby.
Proper response to
I'm
a
gonna
flasher is always the grab, right?
Look, since some of my plays were already taken.
Oh, what do you mean?
Oh.
Just go.
Colby, come on.
Hey,
I'm
do
gonna,
you?
I'm gonna do.
it's a
You're-
copycat league.
You're
Look,
beautiful, bro.
There's this thing called the Texas 2-step. Well, I'm going to change it to the Tennessee 2-step. Give me Vandy over 2 wins and Tennessee under
What?
8.5.
Wow.
Yes. I'll see you at the winner's circle.
I didn't feel strong enough to lock that up, but Colby, looking, staring right in the face of the man sitting next to you. There's trouble brewing on that side of the desk, tearing the team apart.
Hendon Hooker's going to wish he was in Blacksburg.
Guys, you chose Braxton Burmeister over Hendon.
You know
Hooker.
where he is now? He's with our gals.
San Diego State. Yeah, no, I'm back. So far this year, I'll be rooting for San Diego State, Virginia Tech, and Tennessee
And Mississippi State.
and Mississippi State.
Don't you dare.
I forgot. Any other schools in contention? Do we have any coaches lined up for the summer?
Well, you like Notre Dame now that Eddie O talked.
We
to
need
him,
to get
right?
hey Bud. We need to get Bud Foster on the show. See what he's up to.
Yeah, let's do it.
Talk Hokies. Talk Coach Pry. Right, Sean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Culture is important.
Culture is key. Like the great Chip Kelly said, culture beats scheme. And then he never changed his scheme and was run out of the NFL. Hanging on by a thread there in college.
He was really ahead of his game, though. He was on the AG1 way before everyone else.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is the Eagles ran him out of town, but he's still they still kept a lot of his nutritional and sports science stuff.
He was right.
He was just a pain in the ass who wouldn't add more than 12 plays in the offensive playbook.
Imagine getting a real college football job after coaching in New Hampshire.
But Belichick still thinks he's one of the best coaches in football.
He changed football as much as anyone, which is crazy to say.
That is crazy on a number of levels.
Sam Bradford's a franchise quarterback.
We got to get Jeff Fisher on just to talk Sam Bradford.
It's the literal yin to the air raid yang. I mean, it was an important complementary piece to evolve football.
All right, that'll do it.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
Make sure you go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA playoffs. Get your free shot to win $500 in our bracket challenge. Lock that up, or just, of course, as all great things are, in our SGPN app. Hit the contest tab. You'll be good to go. Make sure you subscribe to the College Football Experience on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
How does it go? Rocky Top. Dun, 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 dun. Get out of here, Sean.
Kramer, let it ride.